Easy now guys, Cakey here, back with a showcase and review video. Hope everyone's doing alright out there with everything going on at the moment, and most importantly, stay safe, keep calm and medicate. Hope you guys enjoyed the last showcase and review video I've done on red eyes amnesia, or in my opinion some mad cross between gelato and Gorilla Glue. Most regular viewers and subscribers on the channel will know that the Gorilla Glue, or the proper phenotype, if you can get hold of it, the CBD version was my sort of like all-time favourite, but now this one, the gelato glue, has now overtaken that and has become my sort of like personal favourite CBD smoke. Yes, I've been smoking this for the last sort of like 2-3 months. I just literally cannot get enough of it. Ticks all the boxes for me in appearance, aroma, taste, and the effects are very hard hitting, so definitely gets my thumbs up. Right, so this week we're back for another one, and we're going to be taking a look at another form of concentrate. Last time we checked out the Unity CBD's Blueberry OG sauce, and yeah, that's quite an interesting one. So this week we're going to be checking out a shatter, their Wedding Cake Shatter, taking a closer look at it, seeing what we think guys, and checking it out. Easy now guys, okay, so we're back, and this week we're going to be taking a look at another form of concentrate, a shatter from Unity CBD, their Wedding Cake. So standard sort of like smell proof bags, and then inside you get the glass jar. Unscrewing the top, the appearance straight off the bat looks like a nice bit of isolate shatter, really sparkly, really glistening. So the aroma test. So straight off the bat, I find that when you have sort of like the shatters, the isolate initially comes through the most. Underneath that, you sort of got like a fruity aroma going on, picking up sort of like very faint hints of sort of like the cherry. A lot of sweetness going on there as well. Okay, so we've got our Chong's dab rig and our banger, so we're going to pop that on there. Carb gap ready, and we've got our tool, and then just for cleaning, basically using some isopro and some buds. Always have these on handy guys, it makes it a hell of a lot easier when you're cleaning sort of like your banger. If it ever gets really sort of like clogged up, if you can just get a bit of like wire wool and like sort of like gently just get it in there, and I find that's the easiest sort of like quickest way of cleaning your banger and keeping it clean. So right, first things first, we're going to grab our beverage, just a nice Earl Grey tea. Cheers guys. You want your treat then, yeah? Nice treat for you. There you go. Right, so we've got our torch, we've got our rig set up. Gonna go for a cold start. Right, so that should be quite interesting to see how we break this up. I'm gonna break this up a little bit. Start off with sort of like, I'd say, smallest little bit. See how we get on. Obviously you can see at the beginning of the view more close-ups and some pictures of it, but I'll try and get it into focus. So yeah, it's basically just, you know, it looks like a nice bit of sort of shatter, standard sort of like isolate. Like I say, when it comes to the aroma, The isolate is what you're initially smelling, and then it's like sort of like the undertones that are lingering in the background, sort of like fruity sort of thing. Right, so put the gas on. A bit more gas. Grab our carb cap. That's really nice. That is really nice. Really smooth on the throat, and then like full on sort of like cherry, really fruity taste going on another one of those. Give that another quick heat up. Just literally heating it up until I start seeing the vapours forming. Really surprised how smooth and how clean this one is. A bit of background information, so it's 95% on the old CBD, so that's pretty strong. 5% on the old terpy terps. Indica dominant hybrid, and it's a cross between the cherry pie and the Girl Scout cookies. So yeah, I've tried a few sort of like shatters in the past, and I found even with a cold sort of start, they're really sort of quite, I'm trying to think of the word, quite harsh on your throat sort of thing. And this one is not. This one is really smooth. I'll get another burn on it. Really impressed with this one. So obviously when you heat it up, it goes into a liquid and then obviously turns into a vapor. Not too bad. So like I say, when it comes to sort of like cleaning, just grab your tips, bit of ISO. Try and clean it while it's still hot. Just stopping all the leftovers sort of clogging up your banger. Trust me guys, when these do actually clog up, they can be a right pain to clean. Like I say, I find the easiest way to keep them clean. Bit of ISO, cotton buds. If it does sort of like start gunking up, just get a bit of wire wool and just sort of lightly use the wire wool inside your banger to really clean it up. There we are, nice and clean again. What I'll do is just give it a quick burn, make sure any of the leftover sort of like ISO brow is evaporated out of there. This time we're going to go for a hot, warm start, just heating it up. Don't have to go too mad, like I say with the CBDs. I think they are better with sort of like the cold starts because they don't sort of like burn the terps as much. It's totally different compared to sort of like THC sort of like concentrates, so I hear. So I'm just going to chill for a little bit, let that cool down, and sort of gauge the temperature. Just bring it slightly towards your face, that finds the best. You can't really feel the heat. Slightly can with your hand if you hold it, but I find just slightly there you can actually gauge it. So yeah, it's always important obviously when you're heating up sort of like the quartz banger to sort of try and get the best temperature. You know, if you're doing a cold start, obviously you start from cold with the CBD, so you can actually taste you know, all the terpenes and get sort of like a good hit of it. But then when it comes to sort of like a warm start up, you want to try and get it so you know you're heating your banger up, and then just giving it a bit of time to just cool down a bit to try and get that nice perfect sort of temperature for the concentrates obviously to have a bit of time to turn into sort of vapor, so it just instantly just doesn't burn off all the terpenes, and then obviously that can be then quite harsh. But yeah, so far it's definitely getting my thumbs up. So the sweetness is definitely there, a little bit of candy. I say the main sort of like flavour that's coming through on this one is definitely the cherry, maybe a little bit of cakiness, a little bit. I mean obviously it's a wedding cake, so you know it's got the cherry pie, which is obviously the cherry, the Girl Scout cookies in there. We had a bit of yeah, we had a bit of wedding cake, the actual CBD flower, I think from Green quite a while ago now, and yeah, that was quite nice as well. To compare that to sort of like the concentrates, I don't think you can do. I think they're totally different. So like, one thing I will say is obviously if you're like sort of like smoking, you know, sort of flowers or bud CBD, and then obviously you might want to move on to sort of like looking into concentrates. Don't think you know the flowers strains are going to match up with sort of like the concentrates, because the concentrates are more sort of like based on, you know, the actual terpenes. Oh, so I think that's just about long enough. I'm going to get another bit on our tool, a slightly bigger bit this time. There we go guys, so straight in there. I didn't need a bit of heat on there. ready to start the form. Grabbing our carb cap. So this time round, I'm actually getting the cherry pie full on. Yeah, so I'd have to agree on that. Not only is it the cherry, it's more of a sort of like cherry pie. Really nice. Obviously, I'm fairly new to sort of concentrates, learning about how to find the right sort of temperatures. Not bad, not bad. So I find with concentrate, sort of like the first time you do it is usually when it's hits the best. The second time around, you can see on the banger started to sort of like, you know, clog up a little bit. But that's what I'm saying, it's all about experimenting, trying to find sort of like the right temperature. Go for one more. There we go for one more, and I think we'll wrap things up. Get a nice bit of vapour off it now. Still quite smooth, there's a little bit of a tickle on my throat. It's a really nice sort of like sweet cherry pie flavour, very, very fruity. Almost got me there. With sort of like concentrates, I find the effects do kick in a lot faster. Get a bit of ISO on there. See how well we can clean this up. I think this is going to need a bit of wire walling. Also, another thing to remember with this quartz glass is obviously when you're heating it up, when you're finished, never sort of like any glass, run it under the cold water, because it would just literally break, shatter basically. Yeah, so you just get a bit of ISO. And obviously you can see it's quite stuck on there, quite firm. So yeah, it's definitely going to need a bit of wire wool. So what I'd recommend, if you ever get your sort of like banger like that, where there's a lot of residue sort of like stuck to it, use a bit of ISO, earbuds, and just try and get as much of it off as you can initially. And then what I'd actually do is I'd actually just put it aside, let it cool down, and then after that get a bit of wire wool in there, and then basically every time it will just come out spot on, perfect, nice and clean, ready to be used again. I'm just going to pop that aside. Right, so this week, excuse me, this week has been the Unity CBD's Wedding Cake Shatter. Definitely gets my thumbs up. You know, it's a different form of sort of like medicating, rather than sort of like smoking. 95% on the old CBD. I would say that it does kick in fairly quickly. Yeah, absolutely spot on with the taste, sort of like cherry pie. So definitely gets my thumbs up. Shout out to Unity CBD for sending this over for showcase and review purposes. Very much appreciated. So yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Massive shouts out to all the viewers and subscribers. Make sure you're looking after yourself and keeping well. Don't forget to stay medicated. Leave me a thumbs up and a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and if you haven't already subscribed, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.